so you're wanting to establish your business as either an LLC, an S Corp, or a sole proprietorship. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about each one of these. I'm going to use a little bit of my notes, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to look down. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what may make sense for your business. Now, I am not a lawyer, okay? So this is not legal advice. This is just how we set our company up. I'm going to give you kind of some bonuses and maybe setting up an LLC versus doing a corporation, S Corp, which is what we are. And then a little bit about sole proprietorship and why personally I would probably stay away from that one, and I would pick either an LLC or a corporation with an S Corp as your, like we'll say, a subchapter type S. Okay guys, I want to start this off by saying I am not a lawyer. Yes, I have a business degree and I've been running a business for quite a while, but I am not a lawyer, so do not take this as legal advice. And I do recommend doing just a little bit extra research. I'm going to talk on this subject, kind of the just overall bullet points, and then I'm going to let you decide on what you want to do. I would do some extra reading on this just so you know exactly what you're getting into, but I will tell you that I'm probably going to push you away from being a sole proprietor, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why here at the end. But whether you want to make your company a corporation or an LLC, it's totally up to you. Again, I would get legal advice on this one before you just sign up. I would not go to LegalZoom to start your business. Again, guys, you're getting into construction, okay? There's a lot of liability in what we do, and we'll go over that a lot more in the general liability and workers' comp section. But just as running a business, you are opening yourself up to a lot of liability as a roofing contractor. And guys, I will tell you, just from experience, we manage safety, we do everything the right way, we follow all the rules, but we've had just some crazy stuff that's happened on job sites. You know, we've had guys carrying bundles of shingles up the ladder and the bundle busted out the back. We've had things fall off the roof and damage, you know, shrubbery and landscaping going around. We've been doing commercial jobs where guys drove the lull right through the middle of the campus and one of the boards broke underneath and ripped up all the grass underneath. We've had, a good one was we were doing an apartment complex and we were loading shingles up, and the box that we had on our forklift broke, landed on a van, and smashed it. I mean, things just happen on a job site, and it's important that you are protected, okay? Not only if somebody gets hurt on the job site, but also if you damage any property or if your company gets sued. We've been lucky enough. We've never been sued, never had a lawsuit against us, but if you do this business long enough, you're going to. We're just waiting to get our first lawsuit. And that's just how it is, guys. It's just that you're getting into a business with a high amount of liability, so you need to make sure you're protected. Now, let's talk a little bit about what an LLC is. An LLC is a business structure legally separating itself from its owners, referred to as members, while a corporation is different. It has a definite corporate structure. Now, one of the things that some people like about an LLC versus a corporation is typically with an LLC, there's more wiggle room, there's more gray areas. With C corporations, they're very structured the way that you're taxed. Now, you can go ahead and elect for a subchapter or an S Corp, and you're taxed similar to the way you are with an LLC, which is what's called a pass-through. So basically at the end of the year, if your company did $1 million worth of profit, obviously that would be great, right? But you're gonna get taxed on that money. So the way it typically works with an S Corp and an LLC is you'll get issued at the end of the year what's called a K-1, which then you'll file your personal tax return, and then you'll pay taxes based on what you did. Now, if there's multiple partners, like my company, we have myself, and then I have a business partner. So Chris McGuire, my business partner, and I, we get issued K-1s at the end of the year. If, let's say, the company made $1 million in profits, I'm going to get taxed at 51%. He gets taxed at 49% of that. So I have a tax liability of $510,000. He'll have a tax liability of $490,000, and then we have to pay taxes personally on that. Now that comes out of the company's profits. We'll pay that with the company money, but it's still on our own personal tax return. And an LLC is set up the same way. Again, I want to tell you, listen to me. Before you do this, go talk to a lawyer. Have him help you set up this part of the company, because you need to make damn sure that you get this part right. You can change company structures, but it is very, very difficult. Changing your name later on down the road, that's one thing. That's just a simple filing that you can get done for a few $100 with a lawyer. but trying to change your business structure and all that stuff, it can be pricey. And so you just kind of want to get this right at the beginning. So seek legal advice for this. Now, whichever way you decide to go, it's fine. We decided to go with the corporation, and we're an S subchapter, so we're a S Corp, as it's called. That's just the way we pick. I liked having all the rules. I know exactly what we're going to be paying. I like being able to get paid in dividends. All we have to do is pay a salary, and we accept dividends, and then we can do commissions. There's just a very set rule. I like knowing what our tax liability is going to be, and typically the federal government doesn't mess with corporations like they do in LLC. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do. Now, I will tell you, stay away from being a sole proprietor, okay? Most subcontractors are basically sole proprietors, right? So they don't actually have an LLC, they don't have a corporation, and if anything happens, they are open to getting sued. Now, I'm going to tell you just real quickly, and again, when you get legal counsel on this, when you get an attorney, have him explain this to you, but I'm going to give you the owner side before the lawyer tells you. Basically, if you're out doing work, and let's say you're having a ton of success, you're doing a lot of jobs, then all of a sudden a roofer falls through a house, and let's say he breaks his leg, or worse, gets killed, or kills someone. This stuff happens. Do you think, well, it can never happen to you? Well, it can. And I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that, but if you're a sole proprietor and your roofer who works for you all of a sudden sues you, and then the homeowner sues you, and let's say their lawsuits are for a couple $1 million of damages, if you have any money whatsoever, you will be sued. You will be sued, not your company. You will be sued. So you have no safe haven to protect you. Now, obviously, if you have a business, that sucks, especially if you're a startup, because you may go out of business. You may have to go bankrupt, but that's filing bankrupt for your business, not you personally filing for bankruptcy. Okay, and as your business grows, as you start doing more money, you start doing bigger projects, that becomes way more of an issue. So don't even think about starting off as a sole proprietor. Go ahead and spend the money now, get legal advice, and start an S Corp or an LLC.